want to find ways of being happier, if you want to find ways of overcoming lockdown, if you want to find ways to just have a lift at any given moment, but for the next hour, or should I say, and for the next hour, we're going to give you a lift. And today my guest is Cheryl Holley, and we hope to have a special appearance from her daughter Holly. And the theme, okay, and the theme is going to be bubbles, but it's everything that Cheryl has done all around the business that she's building and bubbles. And we'll look forward after the break to introduce you to Cheryl and join us for a magical hour with bubbles and so much more.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us, 24 hours, and let the happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio. Relax Radio.
Welcome everybody to Mindset Monday on Relax Radio, and today we have Cheryl, and we do indeed have Holly. Hello, Holly. It's okay, nobody's watching right this second. You're safe, Holly, but they'll watch it on the replay.
Yeah.
And Cheryl, I'm going to read you her her bio. Are you ready for this? Because Cheryl, I met. It wasn't that long ago, was it? 3 years ago?
Yeah.
And we got in touch because Cheryl, well, anyway, we'll tell you that story in a minute. But what I discovered when we got in touch was this dynamic, this young woman, she's a lot younger than me. She has done so much in her short time on this planet. She probably thinks it's a long time. And I just was totally blown away by this woman. So this is what Cheryl has to say. Cheryl Holley is an entrepreneur and mum from Stroud in Gloucestershire. She is the CEO of Bubbly Heaven, where she manufactures giant bubble kits, not giant bubble kids, giant bubble kits, making it very easy for everyone at home to make giant bubbles and join in the utter joy bubbles can bring. She has been on a weight loss and fitness journey this past year as well, and has some exciting goals ahead of her. She single-handedly built up Little Party Heaven, a children's entertainment business, after her first child was born. And she is encouraging and enabling others to become bubble entertainers with her online bubble entertainer courses. And ultimately, as is a single mum to 2 children who, with her positive mindset, has enabled her to become the inspiring person she is today. And that is absolutely, definitely true. So I've just got to get back to where I am with you. That's it. Hello. And yes, these are the experiences I've had of Cheryl, that as she's such a kind mother as well, so thoughtful. You don't hear the raised voices. It's okay, so what are we going to do about this, and now what do you think is best to do in this situation? and you've got so much patience with your children. I'm very inspired by you as a mother. And you're such a great problem solver. You always find a way, whatever. I mean, well, we'll talk about COVID in a little bit, and I know you've transformed just like everybody else. So when I met Cheryl, she was doing really well with Little Party Heaven. Oh my goodness, where am I going to start with all of this? Why don't we start at how you got to Little Party Heaven? Let's start there.
Well, back when I was at college and university, I was looking for a part-time job, a creative part-time job, as I was working at Sainsbury's and, hating it. But I was looking for something creative because that's what I liked. I'm like creating things. And I was looking through the edit pages and come across a face painter, and sent her a message, and so I started working for her for a year or so. But then she moved to Scotland and said, "Oh, I'll tell you what, you carry on with what I'm doing, what I've been doing down here, and the clients we've got, and see what you do with it." So I did, and then I did that for a year, and I was thinking, oh, like it was a good job to have. Actually, I had Ben by then. Actually, it was a good job to have to work on the weekends with the children. Then I was like, oh, I need to, want to make more money. Oh, careful, don't touch that. Make more money and build the business, get more work. So I was thinking what I could do. So I taught myself how to blue model. Started off teaching myself on YouTube.
Good old YouTube.
Yeah. And that was brilliant. That almost doubled my work. And then I started getting booked by entertainment companies that sort of offered the whole package. I was like, oh, ding, here we go. This is what I can do now. Is rather than just offer myself for the party or the event.
Sorry, just so the viewers, that's just Holly having a drink. In case you're wondering about what the noise was, it's actually coming out really loudly. If you sit next to Mummy, Holly, we can't hear you so much. I think it's because you're standing right next to the computer. I think that's what it is. We can hear you more than we can hear Mummy. So yes, go on.
Where was I?
Where were you? We had you're doing the whole package.
Oh yeah. So I started offering the whole package.
What is the whole package for those of us that aren't in the party entertainment business?
If they wanted a circus entertainer or some donkeys or some animals or anything really, they could book it via me. And because I've made quite a lot of entertainer friends and really got a good grips of sort of the industry in my local area and of who was reliable, I know who to go to, sort of thing. So yeah, I did that.
You've made some very good contacts over the years, haven't you? Just to get an idea of timescale, Ben is now
12.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Okay, that's how long since I've seen him. All right. Okay. and yeah, this is I started doing bubbles. Then you branched out. You discovered bubbles. Now you discovered bubbles. Well, you and I probably discovered bubbles at just about the same time, but I've been doing them in a very different way before you. But so how did you? Because you were quite, even though you weren't inventing things that hadn't been invented before, as it were, you were doing it. You were inventing it because you weren't in the bubble circles. No, so tell me about how you made your bubble discoveries.
I remember trying to make the bubble juice and just experimenting. I remember one time putting golden syrup in it in the juice and trying to make bubbles out of that. So
that's a very valid way of, in America they use there's some, here we go, here's a super easy enormous bubble. That's actually her latest recipe, but I just thought I'd show you some bubbles just to give, and that's Luna there, that's Holly and Luna in the picture. Sorry, yes, I just thought I'd give them a taste of some bubbles while and so you, but then you also, it wasn't just the recipe, we call it bubble juice. Cheryl and I call it bubble juice. It's the bubble solution, but it wasn't just the bubble solution. You also worked out all kinds of different ones as well, didn't you?
Yeah, and also working in care homes, bringing in lights as well and using lights to make it sensory and just
So that was after setting up Bubbly Heaven. So you had little party heaven, and then you set up Bubbly Heaven with, and disclaimer here, disclosure, Cheryl and I set up that kind of helped her set it up, and now I've walked away and Cheryl's running it very capably on her own. but that's what you took it that extra step. You went and did the sensory work with it. So that was also, it wasn't just for care homes, was it? It was also, you also did it with young children and special needs.
Yeah, it's a bit in schools, and then until COVID came, and that was all changed.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about what you've done with that not post-COVID yet, are we? With COVID, whatever, in COVID times. And I was just going to give you another nice, these will be cycling round. That is one of the wands that Cheryl has made. And these ones are for sale, by the way, folks, and there are links in the description. And please do send comments if you've got questions about bubbles or children's entertainment, you want to become a children's entertainer, anything like that. If you and there are ways of doing it during lockdown. We have found ways of doing it. So that's Holly. That's how easy it is to make bubbles using the wands. And she's, as you can see, made equipment that a young child can use. So I'm just going to take that one off again and have a look at the lovely Cheryl. So we've got plenty of time, so we'll talk about what you've done, because you've done an awful lot since during COVID times, since COVID hit. So let's just talk about some more general, well, since we're talking about mindset, we've talked about Little Party Heaven, we've talked about, you tell you what we haven't talked about is your artistic ability. Please tell us about that. I mean, we may as well just give them the whole picture, because you're an artist as well, not just a bubble artist or a balloon artist, you're a proper artist.
That's how I got into entertainments, was via face painting.
But it's not just faces that you paint, is it? I've seen your graphic designs. You can't hide those from me.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of your window pictures of your window paintings.
Forget them. Yeah, I've been painting windows as well for local businesses, Christmas windows. I should have sent you some photos of those as well.
Oh yes, well no, we're going to have another session, so you'll be grand. We'll have one pre-Christmas as well. Yeah. But also that the graphic design, that is Cheryl's become a nab hand at WordPress, making her own website at any rate. And also, but you make your own logos, actually design them, not just get something from somewhere else and do something with it. You design your own. You're such a creative person.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My degree in graphic design, so it's come in useful somewhere along the line.
Degree in graphic design, you're using it for your business. Hey, fair enough.
Yeah.
So the last challenge, the most recent challenge, and I'm watching that with great interest. We're going to come back to all of this in more detail in a minute, but just briefly before we go to the first break, tell us about your latest endeavour and why.
Do you mean?
I do.
My weight loss.
I do mean.
So this past year I've lost about 3 stone, gone down about 3 dress sizes, and I think I've lost about 6 inches around my middle. And started running. Running's always been one of those little pipe dreams. I'd love to run. I'd love to, one day do a half marathon. And actually now a half marathon is actually in my sight. I'm nearly there.
But it wasn't just that. You've given up smoking. You've given up. Well, you haven't. You weren't. Not that you were ever a great drinker, but you've given up alcohol as well as part of the health.
3 years ago when I met you, I was still smoking. Yeah, and so I've given up smoking, stopped drinking, because that was just ruining my weight loss efforts. And and I feel like a new person actually. Yeah, I feel like one of these people that just go out for a run. Just one of these normal people.
I'm looking forward to getting inspired by you. We're going to tell you. Actually, we'll tell you. No, we won't. We're going to tell you later in the program about what Cheryl is doing, because this is the way Cheryl goes. She doesn't just do something on her own. She invites other people in. She wants other people to come along for the journey, and inspires other people along the line. So we're going to go for our break, and after our break, we're going to go into more detail on some of the activities that Cheryl has been inspiring. Well, we're going to find out how. We're going to find out more about your mindset and how that can help others by being inspired by you.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us here 24 hours and let the happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio. Relax Radio.
I've just remembered that I can put banners. Oh my goodness! Sorry about that. If I turn it off, never mind. So, welcome back to Mindset Monday with Cheryl Holley, and if we're very lucky, we might see another appearance of her daughter, Holly, whose surname isn't Holly. You might be glad to hear. Scroll across the bottom. I'm just going to add this little banner. That's one of the there we go. Right, that's our first link to the first website I was aware of. This is the Little Party Heaven, is a place where you can go and get general entertainment and information about the bubbles, and then there's a link to the bubble website. So I'm just going to leave that scrolling across the bottom while I go back and find some nice images. So, and multitasking, yes, women are supposed to be good at that. I don't know which women they're referring to. They're not talking about me. So why do you think mindset is important, Cheryl?
Mindset is just everything. Is if you go along your life with a negative mindset, and then you see a person with a positive mindset, their lives are going to look completely different. It's how you tackle problems. It's everything.
I suppose it's also their view of life is going to look. You'd have two people doing the identical same thing, living in identical houses with the same looking family, but one could think life was good and the other could think life was awful.
And also, it's like taking opportunities. Like when you say, "Do you want to come and do this live radio show?" I've actually never been live before, so my first instinct was, "No, I don't want to be live." But then you're like, "No, just say yes, do it. You know, good things will come when you challenge yourself. Otherwise, you just stay still and you never grow if you don't say yes to these things that push you."
I have to say, I've got this sneaky idea that's been creeping up on me, which you may or may not be interested in, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
You've given me a little bit of inspiration, which you may or may not want to do anything with. Okay, to do with bubbles, of course, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we love bubbles. I'm going to show you just another picture of, this is Holly to the right. That's Luna, who loves bubbles. And there's Holly and Ollie, they're cousins, and they both love bubbles. And whenever Holly saw me, it was like guaranteed that there'd be bubbles. So he's like, "Well, where's the bubble show?" If it didn't happen, he'd be disappointed. But Luna is completely bonkers. That little black dog there, she's totally bonkers about bubbles. There you go. I thought you'd give you that little moment. We've got a video as well, haven't we? Yeah. Of now we're going to get to that in a minute, but we do have it, not yet, after the next break, but we do have a video of Holly, because Cheryl is a little bit of an inventor. And that's actually part of the secret of how she has not survived, how she is thriving through COVID. I'm telling you that, but it's all through having a positive mindset. It's that can-do attitude. It's like, okay, what can I do, rather than oh no, the world's coming to an end, and just what we're going to do. I mean, not what we, just that's the way that I've witnessed Cheryl. So Cheryl thriving through some challenging times. I mean, we all have challenging times. So was there a time when you didn't have a growth mindset?
I would say I've always had a growth mindset, but I think there's been times where it's been slightly squished and pushed down. I'd say probably, I think during school that happens a lot. Just in general, they teach you how to, this is how you're going to be, and to get a job. And I'm always like, oh, I've almost just created my own work, really.
Yeah.
And then during the end of my my past relationship with the kid's father, when you're going through bad times, and the people around you can almost squish that mindset and affect your mindset a bit.
I witnessed you going through that though, and what I saw was, yes, it was tough, but what I saw you do was make plans.
Yeah.
So you did actually comment on that. It was being positive and making plans and having goals has helped you. It wasn't just to recover. You said in the when what you filled me in on to start off with, it wasn't just to recover. It was actually it took you through it during the dark times. That's what I witnessed.
Yeah, it was almost, yes. I suppose my brain. That's how my brain works. This is the problem. Here's where I am. This is where I want to be. That's when I met you 3 years ago, when I was smoking, unhealthy, feeling awful, and now this is where I want to be. This is where I feel happy and content. And it didn't just happen overnight. It was little goals, just chipping away at them, and then you finally get there.
Yay!
And as you're achieving the little things, like when I gave up smoking, being able to give up smoking, something I've been trying to do for years, it gives you that sense of you're unstoppable. That sense you can do it. It's not, oh, you just keep trying and failing. No, you can do it. When you put your mind to something, I can do it. And then that's why I applied that to then the weight, getting healthy, and then the weight loss.
Yeah, and you're doing it so beautifully. And I think one of the things that you really have is you really have a lot of determination and perseverance. And I say that to my grandson. I'm like, and he says it to me now. He says, "Grandma, perseverance and determination," and you really have that in bucket loads.
Yeah, you've got to keep revisiting your goals. It's not, you can't just try it for a week. You've got to keep going. It's got to be, you've got to ask that question every day. You've got to keep, it's that showing up every day and doing it every day.
We're going to come back to your philosophies on what your way of creating the mindsets and living the mindsets. Before we do that, I would like to return. I think we're going to share the video now. We're going to do, not quite. Well, actually not quite. No, we're not. First, we're going to show a little video, a still of me. Woo! And that's me making bubbles. And when Cheryl and I, basically we started, my business is Bubbly Maths and Cheryl's business was Little Party Heaven. So we made Bubbly Heaven because we both wanted to work on bubbles. We both felt we needed some extra support, and we wanted to do it. Sorry?
Get together and offer training.
That's what I want you to talk about. So because the concept came from, I saw, I was tagged in a post from a friend who was a face painter in a face painting group, and Cheryl had put a post in. See, this is it. This is part of the growth mindset. So I've got an idea. I could do something about it. Let's find.
Don't be afraid.
Do it alone.
Put it out there.
She just put out a question. So would anybody be interested in learning about bubbles? Because I don't know if you know, but face painters get really badly paid. Mm-hmm. I know hourly rate is a lot compared with some jobs, but it's only 1 hour. And the rest of the week, if you are a full-time face painter, is not much money at all. And so Cheryl put on the group, would anybody be interested in training for
Balloon
doing
bubbles.
bubbles
Yeah.
and balloons and bubbles? And I got contacted by a friend who said, well, you should talk to this person. So I did. And then you take over the story, Cheryl.
So yeah, because when I taught myself bubbles, I found it incredibly difficult to find anything to learn from online. I know there was a website.
The Bubble Wiki.
Yeah, that's it, Bubble Wiki. But I found it quite difficult to understand when it's quite technical. And
yes, it is technical. I had the same problem. Yeah.
And and I joined a bubble group on Facebook, and they didn't like me asking beginners questions.
Yeah, they're like, okay, yes, if you come on here, you need to actually know a few things before you have to basically qualify to be in the group.
So
and
myself how to, the recipe. I bought some wands and went to a few parties, sort of worked out some basics of how you can entertain kids, what you could do over the 30 minutes or whatever hour. And so there isn't many bubble entertainers around. They're only sort of dotted around the UK. There's not many. So and as I was a face painter and a balloon modeler, adding that in, it really worked. So I thought, I could offer this training to face painters and balloon modelers that want to add something in to their parties and events. So I asked, that was at the beginning of my idea, was would anyone be interested in it? Then we got together, and then we spent a few days creating the course, didn't we? And then we had some people, 4 or 5 people in to do the training over the weekend. And it was so much fun.
It was so much fun. Bubbles galore.
And we trained a few more people up after that. But we found it was quite time consuming and difficult with the locations of everybody.
Yeah, and it was difficult for everybody to come to Stroud. They wanted us to travel all over the country, and neither one of us really had the freedom to do that. So you came up with a brilliant idea.
Another solution.
Another brilliant idea.
That we film all our training and put it online, and people can just simply pay online, and then they can watch the videos in their own time and learn from there.
And that is available to you.
Lots of success on that.
Yeah, and that is available to you if you're watching. You can buy the course, find out how to make the bubble juice, how to make how to perform with the wands. And there's also separately there are videos on wand making as well. So yes, and the
solution as well. If you just want to learn how to make the solution at home on your own.
Now this was the real genius that came out, because this was for professionals, this was for performers, and you were going into care homes. You had this amazing workshop that you did in community centres that was really messy play. You've never seen such messy play, bubbles everywhere. And then it occurred to you that, well, we're going to do after the break, so we're not going to quite get to that. I'm going to use that as we could start the break now. Then Cheryl had not an even better idea, but the issue was how to make this available to the public. So we still go out and do, we would go out and do parties if it weren't for COVID. We can still, at the moment we can't, but there are times when you can just go and do outdoor bubbles. But Cheryl figured out a way where you can have your own bubbles in your own party, in your own home, and your own sensory everything. You can just have it all at home. So we're going to share that with this amazing entrepreneurial, can-do, growth mindset woman after the break. And now, of course, I haven't got it prepped in the right place at all. I have my photos ready. So where is my lovely music? Help. I think it's further down. And then after the break, we're also going to have that little video of, because I want to talk about what the product. Here we go, found it. We're going to want to talk about the product before we see Holly demonstrating.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me Relax Radio.
Welcome back to Mindset Monday with Cheryl Holley, and we do have her daughter Holly with us right now, who's rather shy. Knowing Holly, in a year's time, if she does any more radio shows, she'll be like right at it. First time she's shy. Yeah, we know you get into things, don't we, Holly? So let's go to COVID. Even before COVID, you were already you wanted to provide things for home. Go ahead.
I'd already started selling, making. Well, because what it was is when we were doing the training, I was at that point learning how to make the wands, so I could then show people how to make the wands. So then I had this skill, and I had all this material that I could make it once. So what can I do with this? Now I can make kits for people to sell it to use at home. So yeah, I'd already started selling on eBay. That's where I started it. It was on eBay just to test the waters on if people, were buying it and using it, and I was getting brilliant feedback.
Sorry, I wanted to put it on the stream. I didn't think about that. What is the name of your eBay account thingy that people can go and look?
I'm not sure. It's Bubbly Heaven. It's Bubbly Heaven.
Bubbly Heaven, right?
Yeah.
Bubbly. I'm going to put that. Look for eBay. Look for Bubbly Heaven on eBay, not the other way around. Right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Or you could put the shop. Bubbly Heaven /shop.
Bubbly Heaven. So. The shop on the website. Okay, got you. www. Okay, you go ahead. Sorry. Okay. So you were making things, and so what sort of things can people buy in the shop?
So you can buy bubble wands on their own, or you can buy bubble kits. And we've got small kits for little hands. We've got junior size, and we've got older child or adult size wands as well. We've got
oh, hold on, let's get some pictures up. I'll stand by on the other, and you can see some of the picture. Oh dear. I really need a techie to
woo! Full screen.
Hello, sorry about that. I clicked a button. When I said I need a techie, I wasn't joking. Sorry, I was just going to put some pictures up. So we've got some wands here for young people.
So these are the tri-string ones. So you can buy these in all different sizes: little hands, kid size, and junior size, and adult size. You can get the big one. And here you go. This is the tri-string again.
Yeah, we don't have any huge ones with these pictures, do we? But you do have this, which
are net ones, and these make huge clouds of bubbles. And we have this size, which is
the windier better.
Yeah, the wind. So there's ones for all occasions, all winds. So this one's our junior, and then we do have a big one for adult as well. Which is really popular, actually.
We don't. These are all pictures of junior size wands.
This one's an adult size one that she's an older child adult one that she's holding.
Oh, that's true. Look at that. What was she, about 3 in that photo? Yeah. And she's handling. You can see the size of it. Well, that's kind of what it looks like. If you put a grown up where Holly is, the size of the big wand is about the same. It's like massive, great big thing. But yes, okay. So.
And you can also buy kits. They're called magic powder kits, and you can use them. And it's just powder, and you add it to fairy liquids, and then you add your water. Really easy, and it makes giant bubble solution. So you can then just straight away make your massive bubbles. And Holly's demonstrates it in one of the videos. But I think you've got a shorter version, haven't you?
I do. I do. So we don't actually have a picture of Holly mixing it, but if you go and watch the video, which you can see on the Facebook Bubbly Heaven page.
Yeah, Bubbly Heaven page.
And she literally all she's got is she puts in some fairy liquid and she just puts in the contents of the envelope like this, and then she just stirs it. That's all she has to do, and then add water. And then this is her testing it afterwards.
Mummy, can I do my own test?
Of course you can. Go on then. What's your own test? Oh, what's she gonna do? Oh, this is exciting. Wow!
That's how you get a bubble onto your hands.
Wow, look at all these bubbles, Holly. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh.
That is how simple it is to make giant bubbles. And it's interesting that you chose a tunnel. If you were ever wondering about a great atmosphere to take photographs of bubbles in, it's not in bright sunlight. It's within a grey, cloudy day, nice dark clouds, or in a darker spot with plenty of light, but without the bright sun, because you can then see all the beautiful colours.
Yeah.
And so you could really see that through that tunnel. You could really appreciate the colours and the shapes. You could see them really clearly, couldn't you? The shapes of the bubbles. That's beautiful. So you're telling me that people can take normal fairy liquid and add your magic powder that they can buy on eBay on the shop.
Yeah.
Oh, where's the thing gone? Hold on, the banner's gone. I never happened. Oh, that's right. I managed to cut us off. Instead, I managed to cut myself off. I beg your pardon. Thank goodness I didn't cut you off. So it's Bubbly Heaven. Is it .com or .co.uk?
.co.uk.
.co.uk/shop. And don't cut us off again, please. Did I do it?
There we go.
Did it without signing out. Okay, so in that shop you can buy some magic powder with which you can then make giant bubbles, and of course the wands, so that you've got the means to do it. And if you don't want to buy wands, you can always use a piece of string, but the wands are just so much easier.
Yeah, and if you want any extra ideas to play with bubbles, you can just simply make bubbles, but there are so many ideas. I've got a page on my website.
Right, let me find that one. It is in the description. Yeah. Wherever you are, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It's in the description, and I'm going to put it on the ticker tape as well for you to see, because yes, now this is really useful for absolutely everyone. And sorry, you sent it in that other message. What I was going to say is it's gone. Whatever it was, it's gone.
There's 25 fun ways of playing with bubbles, and there's things on that page. There's loads of ideas. There's a bubble scavenger hunt, I think, and how to blow bubbles with your hand, like Holly just showed us. Blowing bubbles inside bubbles, and all sorts of fun things you can do with bubbles.
Right, here it is. And it's the Bubbly Heaven website. It's in the blog, and it's called How to Play with Bubbles. I'm going to put it in the ticker tape so you can see it, but it'll be a lot easier for you to just click through in the description. There is a link to this, but you'll see what it looks like any moment now if we're lucky.
There we go.
Yeah. How to play with bubbles. And are you doing a YouTube channel? Do you have a YouTube channel?
We have a YouTube channel. But I put things up on there. It's not. I want to start doing more things on there, especially now Holly has just taken to bubbles. She makes such good videos now. She's a little bit older. She's brilliant. Yeah.
I'm gonna, yeah, she does the intro she says, please subscribe and like my mum's YouTube channel when she says it. It's like, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining. So, right, so that is now tell us a little bit more about your shop though, because COVID came, and so you already had this shop and you already had, because yes, I saw this before COVID. You had this powder that you were selling, and then what happened?
Yeah, I just started selling stuff before COVID hit, and then COVID hit, and it was like, oh no, all the parties and the events got cancelled. But what was good was eBay went bonkers. In that first lockdown, eBay just went bonkers. Everyone wanted things to do at home with their kids, so that let me have that time, and then I can now focus my time and my efforts all into the kits. So the kits and the instructions and that page, that 25 ways to play bubbles, I've been able to really focus in on it and make it better for people. So
there's more stuff. I got a Christmas package. It had other things in it as well. Sensory things.
Yeah. I sell things on eBay as well. Like sensory balloons, like bubble balloons filled with feathers and pom-poms, and I used to use them in my sensory sessions in schools and stuff, and they were brilliant for children with special needs. So they're popular on eBay as well. And I do sell some other things as well, like little light toys, and have a look.
You can see your little warehouse there. Yeah.
Half my living room is my workspace now. It started off with just a desk, actually a laptop on my lap on the sofa, to a little desk, and now it's half my living room.
Well, the more success you have, the more you'll be able to expand into a separate space and have your home back as a home.
Yeah.
So, right, let's get back to your tips for how to. You can see that nothing. I was going to say, I'm not going to say nothing gets you down, but nothing keeps you down. That's what's absolutely beautiful. So, I asked you what the top 3 things are that do you remember what they are? Do you need me a little bit of prompting help?
I think I have written down here. What did I say? To maintain a growth mindset.
Yes.
I think sometimes it's knowing when to unlearn things, and so to notice. So say you've got some bad eating habits, or you've the way you do things, and then you need to sort of spot them in your life, and then sort of unlearn, and then learn new ways of doing things.
So people talk about release, don't they? And then it's no good releasing things and letting things go if you don't fill it with something else. Otherwise, you've got a void, and you're going to fill it with the wrong things unless you consciously fill it with good things, positive things.
Oh, Holly.
We don't have much longer now, Holly. We've already got a little bit more time. You're doing really well.
Take my phone away if you
like. Yay! Phone bribery.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about because you've talked about this before. You talked about it earlier. The second one was goals.
Having goals, and to break it down. Like, so if you have this goal, it does like from 5 years ago to run a marathon would just be totally out of my reach. But to break it down into smaller, more achievable chunks, like first of all, it would be, just getting out, just starting to exercise, and then just breaking it down, and then going into little chunks, and then chip away at them, and you will eventually get to that big goal.
I love the way you've actually you could use the getting fit and healthy as a metaphor, but you've actually done it. So you've taken the metaphor and you've taken it literally. And so your number 3 way of maintaining a growth mindset is
is actually, yeah, I put down, didn't I, to focus on your health and fitness, because it actually being more. So 5 years ago, when I was still smoking and I was eating unhealthily and overweight and not in a very good way, really, I wasn't very productive. But once I started making those changes and I had a healthier body, healthier mind, healthier mindset, and then you start to become much more productive and much more, well, I can do that, and you get up with more energy and more can do. Yeah.
And yeah, that's what a great reason for endeavoring to be fit, is that you actually can be much happier and much more. And we're going to find out what your definition of success is after the break. And I really like your definition of success. I haven't thought about it that way at all. I'm learning so much doing these programs. I'm going to have a break, and then we're going to find out what Cheryl's definition of success is.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us here 24 hours and let the happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio. Relax Radio.
Welcome back with Cheryl Holley, and of Little Party Heaven, of Bubbly Heaven, of single mother entrepreneur who life might have got her down, but never down and out. There's just always finding a way back, and she's sharing with us all her ways of things that she's worked out for herself. Cheryl is an incredibly creative woman in so many ways, and one of the ways that she is creative is that in having a growth mindset. So she said all kinds of things before. Please, if you join us at this point, please do go back and listen again, because I'm finding this incredibly inspiring. And I asked Cheryl what her definition of success is. Please tell us what it is. I love it.
So to be able to lie in bed at night when you're alone with your own thoughts, and just to feel contented, happy and relaxed, and falling asleep looking forward to the next day. That's the nice feeling, and that's the feeling of, yeah, you've got it right. You got a good life, and you've got it right.
You use the word feel accomplished as well when in the written, because I don't throw people in on this. So, but I love that feeling accomplished. It's like adding that kind of just closes the jar. It's like, yes, yeah, I've done what and that's what, for me, that's what causes stress. Yeah. And I haven't accomplished what I set out to accomplish. That's what causes me stress.
Feeling out of control and feeling like there's too much to do and it's not manageable. That's yeah. So it's the opposite to that. Yeah.
It's the opposite. So that's wonderful. And the way to deal with that is to reduce the step sizes. So of saying I've got to accomplish all this and can't do it, is make sure that what you are aiming for is achievable, and you use that with the weight loss and the health objective, don't you? Is just take some more steps.
And I feel like my to-do list is never ever will be done. It keeps growing, all my ideas and things. But when you start accomplishing these little things, then you get that sense of calm. Like, it doesn't matter what I've got tomorrow, because I can do it, and I will do it, and I'll enjoy it, and then I'll keep, yeah. And
tell us about, because you decided you had this journey, this 1 year journey. It was started at Holly's 4th birthday, and at Holly's 5th birthday, was it the 5th or the 6th? It's the 5th.
5th birthday.
And the 6th.
And then the 6th birthday.
She's 4 months younger than Leo, right? Yes, hello. She's almost the same age as Leo. That's it. So the 6th birthday, and you decided to do something else. You because you're about sharing. You're all making it possible for other people. What's your next endeavour?
It was only a couple of days ago actually that I created a new Facebook group and just put it on my wall and just invited people along, and you come along for the journey. But for me,
yeah, I'm up for it. Is this something you want people to know? Do you want me to share the Facebook group?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah. So for me, the reason I did it was because I wanted just to feel that bit of motivation to keep on at my diet, and I think, and to be held accountable. So if you have other people with you, like now I know you're doing this diet with me. It's like, yeah, I've got to hold a good example now, so it keeps me on my toes.
You're responsible now.
Yeah.
I'm just, oh dear, I'm looking for the link. The link is in the description, isn't it? You sent me the link earlier, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it is in the description, but I'm going to see while you talk some more about it. So what is, if people, oh, and then remember to talk about the fundraiser as well.
Oh yeah. So the Facebook group that you're in on, it's called My Diet Plan. So if you come and join the Facebook group, I've just started putting up the daily videos. It's going to be a 5-day plan, and you can follow my diet for 5 days, which is an intermittent fasting plan, where you have a 6-hour eating window and you have an 18 hours fasting window, and you have a reduced calorie diet, and it's 2 meals a day. So you can do that along with me, and then if you need any support, I can help you. Or and it's also, I've also put it on YouTube as well.
She's not making any claims. This is just come along with her to do what Cheryl is doing if you're inspired by it.
It's and what I've done. It's my plan that I sort of created myself, and I'll share it with you, and you can take it, and then you can make your own plan from it.
And again, videos coming out, how to make recipes, how to make porridge, really delicious porridge.
The staple meal of each day is porridge. So because it makes you feel fuller, and it just makes me feel energized, because I do a lot of running and walking, and I'm a busy working mum as well. So it definitely helps me. I feel. Yeah.
So go back a year ago, by the way, this is literally talking her talk and not, walking her walk. A year ago, she was a busy mum, but she wasn't going out running and walking, and she wasn't. Well, you had started to be interested in healthy food, hadn't you, a year ago?
Yeah, I think always interested in healthy food. It was more the the drinking as well, added calories and chocolate. I talked about that in my video today. Your diet sabotages, and mine was alcohol and chocolate.
And it's a completely different story a year later. And yes, I love the idea of actually creating a group so that you yourself are held accountable to keep up the success that you've had, which is really.
I've got a little bit more to go, and because I've got my 3 peaks challenge, my mountains I've got to climb.
And talking about which there is, and the link is in the description till the February the 7th. That link is good for.
That was the challenge I did in January. I've just completed 50 miles running in January for Maggie's Centres, a cancer centre. And I've got a fundraising page, and you can still donate up until the 7th of February.
For the cancer centre, and then presumably you'll be doing a fundraiser for the 3 Peaks as well.
Yeah, I will. But I'll probably wait for a little bit to do that.
In case people, well, I've already told Cheryl I'm going to be asking her, because I'm climbing Mount Kilimanjaro to celebrate my 60th turn around the sun. So I'm going to do a virtual challenge on that, where people can actually take the same amount of steps and climb the same amount of meters. And so I'll be doing that as well. So I'm going to be asking Cheryl for some tips on that as well. So the thing was, for those that don't know what the 3 Peaks challenge is, can you tell us what that is?
It's to climb the 3 highest mountains. Well, the highest mountain, Ben Nevis, which is the highest mountain in Scotland. Scafell Pike, the highest mountain in England, and
which is in the Lake District.
And then Snowdonia, which is the highest mountain in Wales. And I've got to do all 3 mountains in 24 hours.
I've heard of people that do it, and I didn't sign up. Oh, so you're not crossing across to Northern Ireland and climbing. Oh, what is it? I've actually climbed it. I have actually climbed the highest peak in Northern Ireland. I haven't climbed the others. I've climbed that, but it's not coming to me now. But yeah, no. So you're not going to include that in your 24 hours, hopping across the Irish Sea and climbing
as it is. But yeah, that's why that was what really kick-started my about, it was just in September last year. Then it's sort of having a goal like that really keeps you going, keeps you motivated.
And you're not doing it on your own, are you?
No, I'm doing it with some girls from my running group. Yeah. Right.
So again, that's motivation, and that is a metaphor. You're doing it for real with your exercise and your diet, but it is a metaphor for how to succeed in life and how to keep up your mindset and keep a positive attitude. Now, I don't always succeed. I don't always, but it's, as I said about you, I might get down, but I don't stay down.
And if you make a mistake, you learn from it. You can't lose really by making a mistake. You just learn from it, and then you either make it better or you scrap it and then you learn from your experience.
Yeah, I like to say, if you make a mistake, the best thing to do is ask yourself, literally immediately ask yourself a question: what did I learn? So it's not just like, oh, I've made a mistake, oh, I've learned something from it. No, actually ask yourself, what did I learn? And I can feel the physiology changing of me going to and I actually get excited to think, and I start having ideas literally just by asking myself the question, what did I learn? It's just Steve Donnard, if anybody's interested, but that's what I climbed. Does it count?
Especially when you're trying to give up smoking or something like that, something that's hard. Every time, like, I tried giving up smoking on many occasions, but I'd never stopped trying to give up. I kept going, and every time I did go back to it, there was a reason, then there was a solution, there was a problem, then there was a way for next time I do it to do it better, and then each time I got further and further, and then I finally cracked it.
Yeah. Now we've got very little time left. I haven't timed this very well. Got carried away there. I got carried away. So.
Oh no, we haven't.
Yeah, no, we haven't. We've got 1 minute left. So I'm going to go. For your next projects are 3 Peaks. We've already said that. When you're 100 and you look back at your life, what do you want to see?
I was thinking about this, and I want to for someone else to be able to tell my story, and for someone else to be inspired by that, whether it be my children, whether it be family members, or whether it be someone else. So I always remember being at my nan's funeral, and I was going through a bad patch. That was about 3 to 5 years ago, and the vicar was telling us what a strong woman she was, and telling us all about her personality and what problems she'd been through in her life and how she overcome them and stuff. And hearing that story just really inspired me, and it felt like her strength it really went into me. And I want to be someone else's inspiration and someone else's strength.
Fantastic. I think I need to ask this question earlier on rather than at the very end. So just to let everybody know very quickly, because we've got to go, 10% discount using the Bubbly 10 code, the Bubbly Heaven /shop. And then there's also right now, but this, you may be seeing this in months, years hence, and it might not be the case, but right now there is also a 1 litre magic powder offer, free 1 litre magic powder offer with any product review. So just let you know that. And it is time for us to go. So thank you.
Thank
and
you
will you come again?
I will.
Yay. And I think we can, yes, I think we're going to plan this. We're going to make something really fun with bubbles and things. Thank you so much. And I'll speak to you shortly. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.